Oh yeah, we still need to change that. So
Is that? How? Never mind. Let's not talk about it.
yeah, let's not. Good morning,
Good
Patricia.
morning, everyone.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Darcy.
Good morning, Jeff. Yep.
We're just silent today. What's up with
Yeah.
that?
We got all of our talking done already. There's nothing left to say.
You usually are chitty chatty. What's wrong with you today?
I don't know. It just hit me like a few minutes ago. I'm real tired all of a sudden.
It's time to go.
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
Except for
Let's
I
do
can't
this.
get my web browser to pick up on
Oh,
OBS. That's always
oopsies.
fun. Chrome, there we go. There you
Hey.
are. Yay. Yeah, that's why we should have met yesterday.
I know.
But
That was my fault.
no, it wasn't your fault because
I had to go give some blood.
I wasn't available. It wasn't available either.
Oh.
So it wasn't just your fault.
It was a team effort.
It was a team, full team letdown. All team members let each other down. No, that's why we need to do better preparations.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at this point, all we can do is move forward.
Yep.
Still
I
need to
like
figure
that
out why it's blurry. It is weird. Is it my eyes?
No, it is a little blurry up at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. The middle doesn't look so blurry though. But
No. I was gonna say the whole top bar does.
yeah.
I was gonna say maybe the far left is an image by chance, and it's just not in focus. But it's probably just text. It's been so long since I set this up, but yeah, it doesn't make any sense. So we won't worry about it.
Yeah, let's not worry about it today.
Maybe it's just stretched too big. That looks a little better. Must be just stretched too big. Zoomed in too much.
Yep. It's like,
I can never
whoa,
tell
back
if it.
up.
Huh?
It's like, whoa, back up.
I can never tell if it's my glasses or the image. I need new glasses.
I do too. I haven't worn my glasses in a really long time.
I ordered some.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I don't even know if I gave it a fair evaluation. I'm just like, first ones I tried on, I was like, yep, these are good. That's it. And the lady's like, do you want to see other ones? I'm like, no, these are fine.
That's hilarious.
I like them. They fit fine.
That's good enough.
Yep. Now I just gotta wait for them to be made. So much fun.
Yeah.
So what's our show about today? We don't have a cool title down here.
Well, we're going to talk about some jumping beans, and then we have some articles about heat and metal and other fun things.
Heat and metal.
Mm-hmm.
Those two
Yep.
things go together.
Yeah, they do. Fits perfect in with the jumping bean picture that I created for today.
Yeah, it does go well with that.
Yep.
All right, let's see what we got over here. Oh, whoa, what are these? Jumping beans?
Yeah. Well, no, they're the insects inside a jumping
What do you
bean.
mean? Insects inside of beans?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I don't know. I had jumping beans when I was a kid, and I don't know, they just made me feel so bad. I felt so guilty because they were like in this little um like pot thing. I don't know what they're called,
A
like a little
container?
jar. Yeah. But it was tiny, and then you would just like shake it and then they would start jumping all over. And it um I didn't realize that there was insects inside, but I did feel like they were alive because clearly like movement. And I felt so guilty, and I was like, how are they supposed to eat in there? It just caused me a lot of anxiety. I did not like having them, but I didn't know how to if I should get rid of them. I didn't want to throw them away because they were living things. It was a lot of pressure for a kid. And um yeah, I had the same problem with my ant farm.
Who
Um
told you that there was bugs in them?
I think I just figured that there were. Um I don't know. I feel like at some point I found out that there was something inside, some larva inside, but I don't know if it was while I had them.
I don't think I learned this until maybe even in my 30s.
Oh yeah.
like like 10 years ago. Yeah, that's why I'm like, who in the world told you? I was like, I never knew there was bugs in them until just like it seems like not too long ago, maybe in my 20s,
Mm.
but I mean, I was definitely an adult. I was not a kid. There was no feeling bad. I did not realize there was bugs inside of these things.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's like I didn't know sea monkeys were real like a real thing. I thought it was just like cartoons cuz like in cartoons they'd be like they'd everything on TV they'd always talk about sea monkeys. And then if it was like a cartoon it would show like a little monkey like swimming around. And so I just thought it was like a joke. I didn't realize they were actually a thing. And I was like, is it just like those things that you put in water that get bigger? Like I had no idea. And then I found out that it was just brain shrimp. And I was like, well, why are they I didn't get it. But that was probably in my 20s when I found out that it was not just something that people talked about in cartoons and on TV.
Yeah, I didn't know. I'm the same. I don't think I knew much about them until later in life. I don't remember having sea monkeys as a kid. Not saying my brother or sister did it, but I don't remember it specifically. And if I did, I don't remember them evolving the way they did when Link had them. But once Link had them, we had them at the house. They were a lot of fun. They're kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Watching them grow, and then you can transfer the case. We changed the water. We got into a thing to see how long we could keep them alive and how big they could get. They got pretty big. I mean, not like big. They were still tiny, but they were like big compared to the
In
tiny
comparison.
specks. You know, they're like grains of sand to start out with, and then you could see all their stuff. And he even had this one that he took to school all the time. The kit came with a little pendant necklace, and so he had three in there, but only one survived, and that one survived for a few weeks in that container. So
Oh.
it was interesting. I mean, I think it survived like forever. I think it never died, but I'm not sure what happened to it in the end.
Oh no, it's like in the sewer somewhere, like um
It's like Lemmy Winks. It meets up
causing
with Lemmy
trouble.
Winks.
Yeah,
Are you
maybe.
are you familiar with the Lemmy Winks story?
It sounds super familiar, but no.
It's a South Park thing. So, well, I don't want to describe it. It's pretty gross.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, yeah. It has to do
That's
with
as soon as you said South Park, I'm like, that's probably why it sounds familiar, and also probably why I blocked it out.
yeah, it has to do with Mr. Garrison and Mr. Slave.
Mm.
And Lemmy Winks is a
Oh,
hamster.
gotcha. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep.
Yep, you figured it out. So
Yeah. My eyes are being weird. Just to change the subject,
yeah. Hey,
my eyes are being super wonky today. And for some reason, I'm way bigger than you.
I don't know.
I'm a big, weird eggplant today with funny eyes.
Well, maybe you've been eating your vegetables and grew.
Maybe. Probably
So
not.
Mexican jumping beans are actually Cydia deschanea. Deschacena. Deschacena. Cydia deschacena. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
Moth caterpillars maturing. So after I got the name, I forgot what I was reading about. They are actually moth caterpillars maturing in the fallen sea pods of Sebastiana shrubs, which thrive in hot, dry Mexican climate. Oh,
Oh.
I was kind of feeling that they might just be, like we call them Mexican jumping beans, but they had nothing to do with Mexico, like French fries.
French fries also aren't Mexican.
No,
I'm just
but
kidding. They might be.
they're French, but they're not French.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And why do they jump? Adult
Because
moth. Oh yeah. Can you answer? Go ahead.
no, I don't know. I was gonna make something up.
Okay. What's your fake answer?
Because they're bored in there. I need to stop making stuff up. I have no idea. Like they're just like, let me out. I'm bored in here.
You have a sea monkey kit, DB? Link was just telling me those aren't available anymore. You're not allowed to have sea monkeys or something.
You can sell it on the internet. On eBay.
I'm looking it up. Oh, you can still get them all day long.
Oh. Link wanted a specific one.
I don't know.
Oh,
you have his? Oh.
Aww.
The one with you have the pendant? You have the sea monkey? Did the water dry up? Did we drop it down? The sink? So you think they're just knocking to get out? They're just like, hey, I'm hanging out in here. I want to get out.
Maybe.
Well, that's pretty much what's exactly happening.
Oh.
Adult moth lays its egg in a developing pod, and the hatched larva nibbles its way inside. Outside. The youngster reacts to light and heat, violently jerking its body in an attempt to seek shade, causing the seed to jump. It only stops moving when it's out of dangerous drying glare. After the pupal stage, the silver gray adult moth eats its way out of the sleep pod, and the cycle starts again.
I feel like I had my jumping beans forever. Well, that feels like maybe they weren't alive anymore. Okay, that was sad. That's that story. I was like, wait, mine didn't come out of the pods.
You are really big.
I know, that's what I said. Should I try and make myself smaller on my side?
No, it's just funny. You're like Godzilla. That was my better. Godzilla impression.
That was good. It was excellent, in fact.
So
I'm a little smaller now.
The jumping beans definitely won't like the extreme heat, would they?
Nope. I guess not. No. I mean, I had them in Washington State. It's not like I had them here in Florida. Those are not jumping beans.
This is not the story.
Oh. We've moved on to the next.
Yeah, but my pictures are out of order, I think. Unless the other one got skipped. This is the first look at Chernobyl's dogs. Genetics.
Hmm.
What do you think genetically changed about the dogs?
Um, they all have um well, it looks like none of them have tails anymore. I don't know what else. Maybe I don't know. What can happen? What can happen to them? That's sad that all those dogs just live in Chernobyl though.
They form their own society.
Yeah.
Man, I
The
feel bad
cat.
for any animals they got to track down.
Yeah, right. Maybe they're all I don't know. It just like breaks my heart. And poor little puppies just
Not
out
much
there.
is known about them. About how local dogs survived after the nuclear accident. In 1986, an explosion of one of the power plant's reactors kicked off a disaster that lofted. I still can't believe that was just back then,
I know. It feels
1986.
like when we heard about it when I heard about it when we were kids, it seemed like it was so long before, but I was alive when it happened.
I wasn't a kid. I was just a baby. You were like
You
old.
were not. No, how old were we?
7 ish,
Yeah.
6, 7.
You
So
God.
now everybody knows exactly how old we are since we're pretty much the same age.
We've talked about it before.
Well, I didn't talk about it. You talked about it. I have kept it as a closely guarded secret. I'm very
Yep.
vain about my age.
Yep. It's official. Jeff is 70. Yep.
70.
Yep.
Yeah,
Is that better?
that's better. I feel like that. Feel like that. I don't ever want to do anything fun anymore. Dogs have lived in the area since the disaster, fed by Chernobyl cleanup workers and tourists. Really? Okay. Some 250 strays were living in and around the power plant, among spent fuel processing facilities and in the shadow of the ruined reactor. Okay, what changed?
I don't know, but it's like totally giving me like post-apocalyptic vibes. Like I wouldn't want to go there, just there's roaming packs of dogs and nobody's there. You know what I mean? It's like all of a sudden it gets real creepy. Like, are they gonna yeah, sounds scary.
They look genetically different from dogs in Chernobyl City. So they are German Shepherds and other Shepherd breeds. The team does not know whether radiation caused these differences or not. They just keep talking about they're genetically different.
But not why.
But no, yeah, like what changed? So it's just stuff that you can't visually see.
So I mean, none of the pictures that they have, the dogs are moving. So I can't remember the name of the movie, but there was a movie in the 80s and there was like a big I think it was a Rottweiler. It was a big black dog. And this lady like she's starting to feel I think her husband brought the dog home or something and she's starting to get like weird vibes from this dog and she's reading and she puts the book down and the dog's just across the room staring at her and then she starts reading again and she pulls it down and the dog's just closer like but sitting the exact same way. And like every time she looks the dog's closer and so this kind of reminds me of that maybe genetically you don't see them move. Oh, like in Doctor Who there's like the statues of the angels and you can't turn your back on them because they'll get you.
That's in a lot of video games too.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's how they're genetically modified.
That would be creepy.
Super creepy.
You got to go
Sorry.
in pairs if you go in as like a worker. You got to have somebody looking back the
It
other
sounds
way.
like you
So
need 4 people, like, you know, you have to be making sure you're looking in all directions,
it's also the
because
Mario
otherwise they just
ghosts.
wake up.
Maybe that was where we first got the idea.
Ah,
Mario, and you're in the haunted houses. Can't
maybe.
turn your back on them. They get you.
Yeah, scary.
All right, what do we got next? It's like a lottery. We don't know.
It is a lottery. That's awesome.
Let's see.
Because just like the
Oh, we got
lottery,
blank.
no one wins.
Great.
Oh,
There we go.
oh,
That's the one that we should have
eating
had last time.
hot
Is it?
stuff.
It played into our jumping beans.
It does? Oh, because the heat?
Yeah. But
Yep,
I
I
guess we
see
can
it.
go with the dog days of summer are upon us. Switch
Good
it
job.
up. That's actually the
Way to
first
keep it going.
sentence.
Oh, yay! Thank you,
Yeah.
Science News.
Brutal heat
Saved it.
waves are roasting regions around the globe, smashing records with unrelenting severity. Weren't you just complaining about that?
Oh my gosh, it's so hot right now. Yep. Like the actual temperature isn't that bad, like the high 80s, low 90s, but with the humidity, the heat index, I think that's what is called, or the real feel is like 110, 115 degrees. So, been spending a lot of time inside. I'm gonna try and go for a run after this before it gets too hot.
Make sure you let people know where you're at,
Yeah.
because that'll scrape you off of the ground.
No. Yeah, well, luckily we don't have the roads aren't paved here. We have a couple that are paved, but for the most part they're not, and so that will help with the, not being on the blacktop.
You know, I got a cheat code now. With my wireless headset, I can get coffee.
Cheater.
Mm-hmm.
After
So,
this article though, I am gonna have to take a quick break.
oh, see, I cheated
I don't have a cheat code.
for that one.
No. I mean, I
Um,
guess I could just stop talking. No one will notice. Like,
oh, they would notice. See, they don't notice me. They notice you.
no, you made a funny.
I know. I saw my
Your
bear went crazy.
It was awesome. Who's like,
I was
oh,
leaning back, like, what's going on? Southwest United States and northern Mexico, devastating heat has been scorching the regions for weeks. It's funny how they're not talking about that. I heard about the blackouts again, and
oh, oh no, that's awful.
mm-hmm. Or brownouts as
Especially
they
in the
call them
heat.
there, because
Yeah,
they're like, hey, we're
rolling
gonna turn
blackout.
it off for these periods during the day.
Yeah.
That's like, but what are you gonna do? I get it from the power company's point of view, but um, it does probably go back to a lot of corporate greed in the way of they probably could build a better
Mhm.
system if they chose to.
Oh
But
yeah, for sure.
but dealing with the system that's in place, that's all that they can do.
Well, and California's been having a lot of problems the last few years, huh? Floods and droughts and
Yeah,
fires and all the other stuff. And then yeah, it's a lot of pressure.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yep.
a beautiful place. I know I understand why so many people live there, but man, that's rough.
Yeah, nature just says we don't want people living there anymore.
Yeah, yeah, we need I, I don't know. There's a lot of cool things. SciShow and Eons has done a lot of um videos about California just because of like so many cool things that have happened there, geologically and everything. Anyway, that's another story. We'll get back to the heat wave.
Yeah, so China's also
Oh,
experiencing a heat wave.
that's scary. Look at all
They
that.
on July 16th, they broke not only the national record with temperature, but also the highest temperature above a certain latitude, 40 degrees north, of 126 degrees.
Oh my God.
Europe is in its second heat wave in a week, with Rome recording temperatures at near 110, and Spain's at 113. It's partly because the world has been exceptionally warm this year thanks to compounding of human-caused climate change with natural climate phenomenon.
Yeah, because it's El Nino, right?
El Nino, whose influence is known to temporarily warm our planet. It's but it's just not that Earth's a hotter stovetop that cooks. What? The cooks have been busy. The jet streams, powerful ribbons of wind that control much of the planet's weather, have been meandering and get stuck, holding bulges of hot air over many parts of the Earth. While it's not unusual, some scientists have suggested climate change may be altering the dynamics of the consequential winds. It's funny how all these systems go together.
Yeah. Yep.
Who would have thunk?
I
But
think. Yeah.
it's really, with all the bias and misinformation, it's hard to really measure our impact on the world. And with limited data sets, not millions of years of data, we don't know how this planet truly operates.
Yeah.
So it's
Well,
really
and so
just
many things have
guesses.
changed,
Mm-hmm.
over the
Oh, chopping
billions
down the
of years.
trees probably isn't a good thing.
Yeah, no, for sure.
That one just alone, I think everybody can agree on whether they want to or not. Like that one is just like, that's the obvious to me.
Yeah. Yep, that's a big one. And then just all the plastic. I mean,
That doesn't help.
there's a lot of things. Yeah.
But I would say that chopping down if I had to pick one thing, I would have been like, let's try to avoid chopping down trees.
Well, I think there more oxygen comes out of the oceans than
Oh yeah, yeah,
all the trees. So yeah, I mean, you start messing with. I mean, we're doing a double whammy, right? Messing
yeah,
with the oceans and then taking out the trees. It's like, wait, where's the backup?
yeah. I do agree. That
Yeah.
would be a second one I'd pick would be the ocean. But I think you're right. I think they said that the ocean does more with the oxygen regeneration, so maybe I have
Yeah.
to switch my order. But one of those two, you don't want to warm the ocean. You don't want to destroy the sea life. Anything that's killing them. Fishing's bad, but I think we could still, in a way, fish and just not do some of the other things that we're doing to it and probably make out better. But
Yeah.
all right, you want to take
Yeah.
your break? Getting ready to
Yes, please.
switch. All
Yeah,
right,
let's
so
do it.
let's see. I gotta find your intermission. Short. There we go.
Oh, look at that art. All right, see you in a minute.
Oh, we're kind of back. Not sure. partner is. Do I have any jokes? I'll mute the music. Music muted. What kind of jokes do we have around jumping beans? Jumping bean jokes. First one is, what do you call Mexican jumping beans with a cold? Coffee beans. Any jumping bean jokes?
Oh, I was
No.
talking, but I was on mute. Had muted myself. Apparently.
What do you get if you cross a Mexican jumping bean with a cucumber?
What?
An organic vibrator?
I would never tell that joke, and that's hilarious.
Well, I already read the question, so it's like once I read the answer, I was like, "Ooh,
Spicy.
spicy."
That is hilarious.
And they're just talking about a back massager, so
Yeah.
it's no big deal.
That is hilarious. Good job. I'll be early next time, folks.
Yeah, it goes a little off the rails when they leave me in charge.
Yep. Who's they?
Them. The T1000s.
Ah, yes.
Stunning discovery. This is not new. Metals can heal themselves. Microscopic cracks vanish in experiments, revealing the possibility of self-healing machines. So, I've heard about this before. Have you?
Nope.
You never heard about the self-healing items? It was like, it's been gel. They've had, I've heard of metal before. I think some like wood products.
Nope. Nope. This is the first time for me.
Researchers announced the first observation of a self-healing metal. So I guess this is new. If harnessed, the newly discovered phenomenon could someday lead to engines, bridges, and airplanes that reverse damage caused by wear and tear, making them safer and longer lasting. Scientists for the first time have witnessed pieces of metal crack, then fuse together without any human intervention, overturning fundamental scientific theories in the process. If the newly discovered phenomenon can be harnessed, it could usher in an engineering revolution. One in which self-healing engines, bridges, and airplanes could reverse damage caused by wear and tear, making them safer and longer lasting. I think I just read that.
Oh. It needed to be said twice.
Cool.
That is very cool. It seems like it would be really good. And it's kind of scary, but that's okay. Well, scary.
The metal doesn't have a mind of its own. So as long as we don't put a mind in the metal, we're good to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess like I'd be nervous like how would you I guess it depends on like how quickly it would regenerate, and then how would you let it know like this is a bad this is a something that needs to be fixed versus something that doesn't, because you build something and you're like, not this crack, but that crack needs to get fixed, I don't know, just curious.
Like you have a hinge and it decides to like melt the two sides of the hinge together.
Yeah, exactly. Or like
and that's like part of your safety device and you're like, shouldn't have done that. So you got to talk to your metal now.
Yeah, exactly. Like you have to, like, how would you let it know like when to repair and when not to? because they've got that expanded metal, and part of what makes it so cool is it's so lightweight and it doesn't take a lot. But then, like, if you were to use it on something like that, would it slowly start, closing on itself? Um, and then would that cause it to become more frail? I don't know. These are things that I'm curious about. I was gonna say these are things that keep me awake at night, but this is the first I've heard of it, so at this point, it has not kept me at once.
Well,
Not like
maybe
the
this will keep you
bees.
up at night. Oh, there was our other picture. We had two pictures.
Oh yeah.
How about this one? Surgical and engineering innovations enable unprecedented control over every finger of a bionic hand.
That's so cool. I
For,
like that.
for the first time, a person with an arm amputation can manipulate each finger of a bionic hand as if it was his own. Why's it got to be his?
Yeah, I don't know.
Their
Rude.
own.
There you go.
Thanks to revolutionary surgical and engineering advancements that seamlessly merge humans with machines, this breakthrough offers new hope and possibilities for people with amputations worldwide. A study presents the first documented case of an individual whose body was surgically modified to incorporate implanted sensors and a skeletal implant AI algorithms, then translated the user's intentions into movements of the prosthesis, the arm.
The arm.
Cool.
That is so cool. I love that. Like, this is my favorite part about technology. Yep.
Uh oh.
Oh no, what
The
did I
Death
say?
Star's coming.
Is it?
Isn't this the Death Star?
I hope not. At least it'll be over quickly.
This is August blue supermoon. Nope, it's not. It's a supermoon on July 3rd from Kansas City, Missouri.
Dang
But
it.
there are two supermoons that happened this month. One
Really?
was last week, and the next one is at the end of the month. And if you don't see it then, you'll have to wait 9 years for your next chance.
How it So it happens twice in 1 month, but then it doesn't happen again for 9 years? That's weird
Yep.
and amazing.
What is a supermoon?
Yeah, what is it?
It's a perigene full moon. Perigene. Full moon happens when the moon is full during the closest point in its orbit around Earth. This gives it the appearance of extra pop, making it look up to 8% bigger and 16% brighter than a typical full moon. According to NASA, the moon's typical orbit ranges between 226,000 and 251,000, so between 226 and 251 miles from Earth, but variances can bring it closer or further away. Only the closest 3 or 4 approaches each year qualify as supermoons. The last one was July 3rd. Up first is the Sturgeon supermoon, which was last Tuesday. It got its name from Native American tribes that found that these giant sturgeons from the Great Lakes were most readily caught at this time of the summer. It's also known as the green corn moon, grain flying moon, flying up moon, harvest moon, ricing moon, black cherries moon, and mountain shadow moon. The second show is a rare blue supermoon. The term supermoon references the moon's orbit. A blue moon has to do with its frequency, referring to when there's a second full moon in a single calendar month. So it means nothing about the color.
That makes way more sense. Why it's not going to happen again. Because it'll be the second full moon this month. Okay. I like that.
Blue moon is
So,
also used to describe the third of 4 full moons in an astrological season. So what?
oh, just the once in a blue moon.
There
Doesn't happen that often. Like,
you
aha.
go. I never knew
It,
that.
yeah, me neither. We've learned so much today.
The moon takes 27.3 days to orbit Earth, but because of how the sun's light hits the satellite, it takes. Oh, I was like, satellite, what? I forgot it's a satellite. It takes 29.5 days to complete its lunar cycle from one new moon to the next. Oh, and then they cover what you just said. The term once in a blue moon is an idiom used to describe a rare but nonetheless reoccurring event. But according to NASA, blue moons aren't actually all that rare, reoccurring every 2.5 years or so. That's fairly rare, and that would have been really rare for people that only lived to 30. You
Yeah.
only get a handful of them every 2.5 years.
Yeah. And if you're like, planting crops based on certain things, you know, there's that's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So I
This
like
year's
it.
blue supermoon will peak at 9:36 p.m. Eastern Time on August 30th.
I'm gonna have to put that in my phone because I keep missing all the cool stuff. Like I missed that pink moon. I was so upset. Oh my gosh. We set alarms and everything and we still missed it. Uh, so 9:36. I could totally stay awake for that. I don't need an alarm to wake me up. Just a reminder.
What day is the 30th? It's a
I
Wednesday.
think is it?
Yep. So it'll be the biggest and the brightest of 2023. So make sure that you get outside and check it out. And hopefully it's not cloudy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
it's really windy
honestly,
here.
hopefully it is cloudy because I mean, it would be sad to miss it, but at the same time, um, maybe get a break for this heat.
Well, it's cool up here, so sorry about your luck.
Is it really?
Yeah, I mean it's been a very pleasant week in the mid 80s, low 80s.
Oh, nice.
Heat index is probably like not very much higher. Didn't feel humid and whatnot.
Oh, nice.
But I
Yeah,
wasn't outside tons, so
oh, well,
I
that
walked
that's
outside. I'd walk to the mailbox and I'd come back. So you know, I did. I went outside at least for
here and there.
10 minutes total this whole week.
That's awesome. Good job. Yeah, I mean, I really haven't done much better. When we were in Connecticut, we were outside a lot. But it was so nice, it wasn't like down here where you can't be outside.
I just had this picture of people walking outside in the sun just with this big long arm slapping them. Like, get back
Yep.
inside.
That's
Stay
what
up.
it feels like that, except for it would have to be like a really wet arm because you're not gonna get back inside without being all sweaty. Like big old wet slap. Sweaty slap. That sounds gross. I'm gonna stop now.
All right.
You're like, the show's over.
We're just going to end it. We're just going to call it at that.
This is my favorite ending so far. Thanks for being my friend, Jeff.
Well, now you're asking a lot of me. So
No, it's too
I
late.
was your co-host. That's what I signed up. That's what my contract says. Co-host.
Nope. No,
There's nothing. We're gonna have to
admitted
renegotiate.
already that we were friends.
Nope.
And it doesn't matter how you change what you say after that.
Nope.
We're still friends.
Do you have a recording of that? Do you have that in public record? Is there a witness? Was it notarized?
Yep. There's plenty of witnesses.
All right. I guess that's it. I'll accept it.
Excellent.
So, I guess everybody have a good weekend yourselves.
Yeah. Yep. Have a good
And
weekend.
we'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.